patient he's ever had. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being quite uncomfortable and 1 being quite pleasant, where would you position yourself now? And he's got tools in his hand while he's doing awesome.
Wait, did you ever look up this guy online to see, like, did he have an actual license to practice dentistry?
Didn't matter.
I don't give a shit.
Didn't matter.
I'll fucking let this guy drill me anytime. Dude, you look like Ron Jeremy, brother. Okay, answer this question. After we hear the zip, is it lob or is it just a whimper?
I guess there's more people in the room than I expected. Yeah. What's your question?
Yeah, is there any chance the crew from the Saints will be doing any kind of work together anytime in the future?
What was that?
So, okay, wait. Is there any chance that these guys are going to be doing any work together in the future?
Yeah, any of the guys from the crew.
And from what crew?
From Boondock?
Oh,
Yeah,
you mean
Saints.
like us?
Yes. You guys up there. For the crowd.
You take care of this, Sean.
All you rock. Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Awesome.
I like these cats, you know? And although they don't like me, I'm fucking stronger than them. They're like, I would never work with Sean. Yes, sir. I like the American flag shirt.
Well, it's got your name on it.
Say it again?
It's got your name on it.
That deserves a resounding what?
It said
With a
Sean
double-sided
Flanery
collar.
wants you. Vote for depacification.
2016, baby.
He approved his message.
I can't remember my question.
Make one up.
Make one
Is
up.
every even number greater than 2 the sum of 2 primes? Well, yes, sir, it is, actually.
You have 2 shirts
I
on.
got Rocco under here.
Right.
He's got one of each.
You came prepared. Wait, but is there a question in addition to these T-shirts that you're shedding? Like,
I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed both Boondock Saints movies equally, but
so far that's a comment.
Yeah, yes, it is.
1,
2, and C.
To answer your question that you haven't gotten to yet.
Yeah.
1.
You seem like me.
What the fuck? I mean,
Yeah, you don't know how to get out of this, do you?
Things just got real weird up in here.
okay,
Like,
thank you. I just wanted to make
Just
sure.
duck out the,
We love you, brother. We love you. We love you.
you know, there wasn't a question, but the way he took off that one T-shirt, that was good.
The Russian judge gave him a 7-point.
Yeah.
Cecil Peoples called it even for the guy in the back that didn't even go to the mic. It's like 2 people in here that got that. To them, they were like, fuck yes! Yes, sir.
All right, this one's for Sean. So, deleted scene from the first Boondocks, you guys wrestling over a phone to talk to the mom, butt naked. How awkward was that scene?
Is this a question about Jimmy Johnson? Do you guys really want to know about the trouser worm? Really? What's the question?
Seriously, how awkward was it doing that scene?
Are you asking if I jumped up?
Well, I mean, on a scale
Flanery, be honest. Did you draw blood? Were you grappling with a semi?
I plead the fifth. On a scale of 1 to, I think it moved, like...
On a scale of marshmallow to diamond cutter, where were you?
Hopefully it stayed at Marshall.
I mean, that's some dedicated acting right there.
I think everybody knows that I face into the wind when I take off. Maximum elevation. So I was on the prize. And that prize being maximum performance in the scene.
Well, all right, there you go. Thank you, sir. Actually, bonus points to this young lady that's snorting in the 3rd row. Thank you.
I love the Jemima do-rag, too.
Yes, it is good.
That makes me want to eat fucking pancakes, doesn't it? I told you that yesterday, and it did. It makes me want to eat pancakes, man.
Well, I have a question for you guys. When did you know that all this was happening? When did this become a phenomenon? When did you recognize that there was this groundswell of support? Was it like right when the DVD came out and then it started like kicking ass, or a couple years down the road after that?
Rockenstein.
Gee, I don't know. Well, I'm still waiting. Gee, 3-4 years? What would you say? It took a little time. You know, I remember the first time the film just, nobody wanted it. And then about 3 months when it was on DVD, somebody asked me if I was in that movie. And I go, well, at least somebody saw it. You know? And then people seem to have liked it. I guess a couple of years, 2-3 years. It seemed to be like gradual, you know?
It is, this movie, it's its own little thing, and it's truly an anomaly in the industry. And I'll tell you why, because I don't know if you guys know, but when a movie comes out, they spend usually almost as much as the entire budget on prints and ads. And for this, they spent nothing. So when they didn't want to release it in theaters, the production rented a couple of movie houses and played it for a couple of days just to say it went to theaters. So when people say, oh, Boondock went to theaters, well, kind of, but not really. I mean, it was funded by the producers just to say it went to theaters, and they dumped it on the Blockbuster shelf. And if you went in there, there was 2 copies of Boondock Saints. And then a month later, there was 4 copies. And then a month later, there was like an entire row. And then a month later, there was like that whole little square section. And then a couple months later, the whole wall. And it was this weird kind of organic thing of like, I don't know, like when I was a kid, I was really into music. And when you discovered like an obscure band, you would only tell your good friends. Like if there was a douchebag, you'd be like, hey, Mike, listen to this. No, not you, Jeff. Just do not fucking do that to Mike. You're driving in your car. I remember I was driving in my car listening to, I think like Strange Ways, Here We Come by the Smiths. And I pulled up and there was a guy in an orange Corvette listening to that song, and I was like, fuck you! Fuck the person that turned you on to that song. You know, it makes you angry. Well, Boondock was kind of like that. It was like everybody has a story of like, my friend told me I had to see it for like 3 months, and finally I watched it, and wow, that's the way it happened, you know? It was a real organic thing. And I think things are more special to you when people don't tell you you have to love it, like an advertisement, you know? When you find it on your own, I think it really resonates, and that's true with myself as well. You know, if I see 88,000 posters about a band, even if it's a killer song, it kind of comes equipped with a preconceived notion of like, well, everybody likes it, I'm supposed to like it, so okay. But when you find it on your own, it's just different. And it's been a wonderful experience for myself. I know for Rock, for readers, it's like, it's just a true cult film. Because everybody, it's because of you guys. Everybody in here has probably handed the DVD or the videotape to somebody and said, hey, check this out. And when you did it to somebody that you really cared about, you know?
Yeah, that's the question, is like who was told about it by a friend? Like, you have to watch this, like show of hands. Yeah, like I mean, that is sort of what makes it special. It's like, this is before social media. That's how you found out about it.
Who's next?
Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you for being here.
I think the movie is perfection, but my question is, for both of you, are there any scenes that you look back and wish you could go back and redo, or they chose like that one take that you weren't happy with, that you wish you could just go back and redo?
Yeah, most of it. Different or better. And, yeah.
You know something that you find quite often in film. It's like you can correct your way around a circle, and that's true. You know, you shoot something some way, and the problem with having a monitor on set is you go back and you rewind and you watch, and you're like, oh, okay, but we gotta change these 3 things. And you change it, and then you look at it and you change 3 more things, and it keeps going and going. And then finally, when you're happy, you look at it and it looks exactly like the first take. I mean, you've changed it around in a circle, you know. So, you know, there's an interesting balance between being overly analytical and being happy with what happened in that moment because it was real, and you know. So yeah, there's always, when you look back, you're like, that could have been or that could have been. But you also, through the course of a career, you realize that there's 1,000 opinions, and everything that you thought was absolutely brilliant, people might have thought was complete shit, and you thought it was shit, and people think it's brilliant. So it's just a mixture of everybody's thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So you kind of got to do it and walk away, you know?
Yeah.
And try and minimize your regrets.
Minimize your regrets.
Thank you. Hi.
Hey, since you took the question, I came up with a new one. That was great.
Damn you.
Okay.
Nice job.
That's all right. I'm okay. Hey, Ron Jeremy stole my question. I think I'm having a pretty good day. So, all right, and I'm going to record y'all answering this too. So, what is the one question that you go to all these panels every year, and you were like, what if someone asked me something different? Like, what's something that you would want to tell people that no one ever asks you because we're all really busy, you know, asking our own canned questions?
Raise your hand if you think that I'm the type of person that if I wanted to tell you something, I would wait for you to ask. A resounding fucking no one. Like, I really wanted you guys to know such that I just want to wait till I'm asked.
He was feeling a little shy today.
All right then, favorite movie that's not Saints.
Now Rita's probably has a number of those. It's like, I just really wish that they would ask me. About that time, we were grappling.
So what you're saying is his answer
I
to
had
the
a tinkling
debating
in my nether
question.
regions. I was going to discuss it.
I'll take it. Thank you so much.
Hey there.
Hello, how are y'all? I have a question for both of y'all. Sorry, starstruck. The first one for Sean, was it easy or difficult to learn the accent? And then the second one for Rocco, obviously. Was any of the cussing improvised or was it all scripted?
The second one or the first one?
Either way. Whatever you want to do.
No, it was scripted. My lines were scripted, but didn't we kind of write that stuff ourselves in the second one?
You know, script's a guideline, you know, especially in a film like this. You know, profanity comes out when it comes out, you know, when it comes out with a vicious, fang-laden head. You know, I'll tell you this, like, who's a hotter chick? I'll give you two of them, right? The girl that's very, very, really pretty, or the girl that's fucking pretty. The second one's fucking hot, right? But sometimes you just need that expletive, you know, nothing will replace it, you know?
And so was it difficult or hard to learn the accent?
I mean, I guess that's a subjective answer, and to some people, maybe they think, well, your accent was shit, you never learned it, you know what I mean? Well, thank you very much, you know? I didn't find it quite hard, but, you know, some people pick up dialects easy, and some people don't, but at the end of the day, anybody can learn dialect. For example, like, you weren't born with an American dialect. You know, you were raised here, so that's how it came, you know? If you were born in Scotland, you know, you'd be speaking with a flawless Scottish accent. So, if you know, if you do your homework, it's, you know, sometimes it takes people a little bit longer, but it's all doable. But the dialects are really interesting, you know? I've always been kind of mesmerized with that, just the little colloquialisms and the difference in language and the difference in, you know, humor. If you watch, like, British shows, it's like the things that they enunciate, the gestures, the mannerisms are just completely different. And I dig that. So it's not just a dialect, but it's a cadence, and it's a rhythm, and it's when you gesticulate, you know, that really makes it authentic, I find.
Well, thank you.
You're very
Thank you. This guy's back. He's got it. This is a question. I feel
Okay,
it.
guys.
This is going to be.
This is just a comment. No, I do have the Boondock Saints.
He's like, fuck it, I'm not going out like that.
I'm not, well,
He's a
not
Spartan.
gently
He's like,
into
in
the
it or
debate.
on it.
He does not want to be knocked
I'm
around.
Sean does
Disappointed,
behind.
I would have stayed there.
No, I have the Boondock Saints 2 soundtrack. And I don't know if anybody knows, but it's got Sly Stone. I don't know if you ever met him.
Ty Stone.
Ty Stone.
Yeah.
Stone. Yeah, exactly. What he said. But guy's awesome. I enjoy singing along with him, and since I'm a singer in a band, and I was like, God, this is just like.
I'm sensing a question mark eventually.
Yes,
right?
actually there is. No.
He's from Detroit.
Hey guys, listen to this.
Who picked that out?
Hey, whoa. Cork it for a second, homie. Ty Stone, killer cat. In the back, I went to one of his concerts in Toronto. Did you?
Okay.
In Toronto, and check this out.
Okay.
I had him sing to my iPhone, and I recorded this shit acoustic. This is this cat's voice. Listen to this. Listen.
That sounds remarkably like serious.
At the ghost of a dead man walks the earth, and my mama don't love me none. She hates everything my daddy done, and they say I'm the bastard son of one bad motherfucking line of blood.
Thank you.
Ty Stone did that shit acoustic, and I'm telling you this.
Would you please tweet that to me?
I will, brother, I will. And check this out. You know how some cats can just like do that? I don't. It's like he's one of these cats. We're having a conversation. Blah, 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 I'm like, sing that for me. He's like, and you're like, damn! He just turned that shit on like immediately. He didn't have to go do any vocal warm-ups or anything. He just like melted it out. I was like, God damn! What did I was like, goddamn, sir, going to bed, goddamn. Cat impressed the hell out of me, and he's a solid individual, man. I like that band. Solid band. Yes, ma'am.
Hi. Okay, I can honestly say that I did not even know what the Boondock Saints was 5 years ago. But it was required watching before I could marry my husband.
Uh-oh.
And I love it now, I really do. We follow both of them and we watch them all the time. But my question is for both of y'all, actually, what was it like working with fuck-ass?
Killer.
Because I remember him from Fraggle Rock, so that was kind of an eye-opener.
Rock.
Yeah, I mean, bartender.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, you know, it was kind of strange when we did 2. I think he was at another function, wasn't he? He was getting up there.
Yeah, I mean, he's an older cat, but what a genuinely solid individual and a stellar actor. I mean, you know, the cat does not have Tourette. And all that stuff was done flawlessly. I mean, he was just a genuinely nice cat, man. What a wonderful human being. And we had a ball doing that. I mean, he's got a really young sense of humor. Like, we're doing, like, lobster dick! And he's like, give me that. He's a funny cat, man. He's a funny cat.
And one more question, if you have any more bullets, could you shoot one? Because my 12-year-old son would love it.
You want to be shot at?
Where are they? Where is she?
I do. I'm by the mic.
All right.
Yeah, who's next?
Thanks, Ron Jeremy, for giving that to her.
I'm a huge fan of the Indiana Jones Chronicles.
Thank you, bro.
Indiana Jones Chronicles. And I just want you to know, I don't know if anyone's ever said this to you before, but I have never been able to enjoy, The Last Crusade, just because you did not play young Indiana Jones. And that's always pissed me off until that definitely thinks you deserve that role.